Call your sponsor.
Call you sponsor.
Call
you
Call
sponsor.
your
Call you
sponsor.
sponsor. Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor.
We're back.
It's giving step 3 vibes.
It's giving steps. Acceptance, allowance, letting go, surrender, like let things be as they are versus like the control and manipulation. You know, it's giving me that vibe, you know, where when I'm in a 3, it's like there's actual peace and freedom versus, you know, tightness and tension and control manipulation. And then would you say that love for oneself came before or after love for another, or there's not an order?
I think there's an order. And this is one of those things where I could change my mind. But today I feel assured that the order had to be love myself wholly and completely. And then I don't think I've really truly ever loved a human being besides my son, but that I have always had these expectations on them to fulfill me or to make me whole, or I was trying to get my inside needs met by them, and they kept falling short of it. And also I was trying to meet their needs so they would reflect what I needed back to me. What I needed inside, I kept trying to give to them so that they would give it back to me. It's such a stupid outsourcing. It's such a ridiculous middleman.
No, that's really profound. That's like, I really get that. You know, I get that. The way that I see that like starkly in my life is with my projections of my thinking, right? Like I think I know what you're thinking. And what I think I know you're thinking is actually what I'm thinking about myself, if that makes sense. It's like the mirror. Yeah.
Yes. Like I've been sitting in meetings and people are talking about, I don't know how to explain it. Like they're literally saying what they want from this other person. You know, like I want them to show up for me. I want to trust them. I want them to show up for me. I don't know why I don't trust them. And I'm like, you don't trust yourself. That's why
reflection.
Yeah, that's why this person is a mirage in your life that's getting you the opportunity to see that. But you're still thinking the mirage can give it to you.
Oh, this is like really hitting hard for me because it's like that's the reason why I'm in the patterns that I've been in.
Yes.
Because it's been the outside job, right? It's been like it's over there. It's if this person could only tell me this versus me doing it for myself, i.e. reparenting myself through the lens of ACA, being my own loving parent versus looking for mommy and daddy in every person, place, or thing.
Right. Like I'm going to be a mind reader to this other person. It's so silly as I say it. I'm a mind reader and I can tell what this other person is thinking. Meanwhile, it's me that's thinking it. And I can tell what they're thinking and that they want me to, you know, think of them more, and they want me to fix them dinner to show how much I think of what they like for food and what they don't like and that I remembered. And then I fix them this dinner and they go, thank you. And then the next night I'm like, okay, like, where's my dinner? And remember that I don't like green beans. And they don't do it. I didn't communicate that need. I didn't say, hey, I'd really like you to fix me dinner tomorrow night. And by the way, I'm allergic to green beans. No. I didn't say any of that because I want to see if they really love me.
They should know.
They should know. When really, this is all an outsourcing. I literally have the gold bars that I'm sitting on, and I'm trying to, you know, have somebody else do it for, you know, find specks of gold somewhere.
You know, Marianne Williamson, I got really hooked on some of her prayers. In fact, I pulled all her prayers out from that book, Return to Love, and I've been sharing them with some sponsees. And there's one where it says something like, God, please remind me that I'm a wonderful person. And the whole reason that she had that prayer, the context of it, is because she kept waiting for somebody to tell her that she was wonderful. And then she finally found the partner who told her she was wonderful. And half the time she didn't believe it. And then the other half the time it wasn't enough.
Right. Oh my God, that is perfect. That is perfect, because when I am not cognizant of it within myself, then it doesn't matter how much the person does it. It's an empty vessel. They can never give enough. They can never make enough dinners that it's going to make me feel loved, or they can never, go shopping enough, or whatever it is that I deem they need to do. Even if they do it, it's not enough.
Yep. It will never be enough. Like I share this all the time. Like even if they text, there's not enough emojis. Why do they use that emoji? Why do they, it's like all of this stuff. It's a lot of it has nothing to, it's an outward, it's exactly what you're saying. It's an outward fulfillment of what needs to happen inside. And I would actually say, yeah, there is I agree with you, that order from inside out.
Yeah, it sounds so cliche and so cheesy. And here's the other thing, and I think I talked about this before, that I'm on right now. It's also a lot of the stuff people put on their higher power.
Tell me more.
That they need to give themselves, that they're like, yeah, and then my higher power is going to show up for me. And and they were doing it, my 10-minute speaker before was like, and you just have to believe that higher power, and you have to love that higher power, and you have to there's that higher. And I was like, and the guy can't stay sober, right? And I'm like, no, you gotta love yourself. You gotta.
I like when you say higher self.
Yeah, me too.
Higher self.
I think my higher self communicates to my higher power, because the more, and this is embarrassing to admit, but literally with like 30 years sober, 28 years sober, or whatever, no matter how much I used higher power or said God, it was still something that was on my ceiling. It was still something that was outside. We didn't have a tether. And when I got a hold of the higher self, I can see me as my best version that I'd want to. And I like talking to that best version of the highest me. And I like being friends with that. And I like developing a relationship with that. And then that transfers both to within me, how I show up today. And I feel like that higher self is, man, they are on like a hotline with God. They talk all the time.
I love this like deal making deal stuff. And like, I think for me, that's like a lot of it is like old ideas. I have a lot of old ideas, and a lot of mine lean towards superstition, where it really has nothing. It's almost like my brain trying to connect dots where there's no dots and figure shit out, but there's nothing really to figure out. It's really just to have an experience. And to sit with myself, to be in stillness, to see how I'm projecting shit onto others, thinking it's them when it's really just me. It's like a few moments ago where I was like, wow, this is really ringing true. It's like, I used to complain to one of my sponsors and say like, all these guys are why are they all unavailable? And my sponsor was like, because you're unavailable. What? No, what are you talking about? I'm available and I'm going after people that are unavailable. Why do they keep showing up?
Yes. And it's so hard to distinguish within ourselves. Right? Like I can see it so much for other people. It's like, oh my gosh, like, honey, it's right on your nose. And then when it's me, it's like, oh, I was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to everybody else too.
It's really fascinating, this journey. What I will share is, so I'm going on a date on Thursday. I don't know when the last time I went on a date was, because I like to just sleep with people and then figure things out after. Not to say that that's right or wrong. That's just been my experience. But the people that I'm sleeping with, like 10 times out of 10, were not really available,
There was not the dating factor.
No dating factor. So I have been consciously connected to myself, loving myself, and making decisions based on my higher self and my connection to love, right? As whatever Liz Gilbert said, what would love say or what would love do is what some of my coaches used to say, where I'm not engaging with these yahoos that I have before, right? And, it was just, I think, a full moon. Like usually full moon, that means a lot of texts. And so I just, I just have not been engaging. And what happens when I don't engage? There's space and there's room for new experiences. And so similar to the drink, when I put down the drink and I stop on that vicious cycle, I now have all these other possibilities that I couldn't see because I was so caught up in that cycle. And now, after many, many moons of staying sober and many, many dicks, it's now like, oh, there's a new dick, a different type of dick that I'm not familiar with.
That's so cool. I'm so glad you're dating. There, but for the grace of God, go on.
For the grace of God. And I'm loving myself. This is probably going to be a topic next week. Like it's Thursday night and they're not my higher power.
Love.
And I'm not, doing the most. I'm not doing extra. I get to show up as me. I get to pull a look from my closet. I don't need to go extra.
Love.
And I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just like, okay, well, I'll show up and we'll see what happens. I will say that I'm consciously staying connected to myself, seeing what it is that I need, like my little child, as it were, or my higher self, and staying connected that way. And also, I've shared with you, I'm really into this yin yang energy, masculine, feminine, and I'm really getting to practice being in that feminine energy of just experience feelings and experiencing flow.
Oh my God, I love that. And also in the let others voluntarily evolve, what you're reminding me of is that when I am faced with a situation and I do not project an outcome, that's where the love can show up, because I'm letting the situation voluntarily evolve. I'm not projecting an outcome in this way and it has to go that way. And I notice that whenever I do project an outcome, that outcome never happens. So if I could let Misty voluntarily evolve, if I could love me to the point where I just, like you're saying, I just go to what's in the closet and not do the fantasy or the projected outcome.
I'm learning to love my closet, P.S. Literally and figuratively.
I need to do a haul today, but that's a whole different story. And I know we're at our final 5. So I will ask you a question. Sam.
I'm ready.
In the love category, what has been something about yourself, highs and lows, like that's been real easy to accept and love, and one that you're either still resisting or was a hard one to embrace?
So, easy to love, I would say is that child within, that I've shunned away and I've pushed away for so long because I've been just wanting to be perfect, And as I stick around, as I mature, there's that like playfulness, there's that flow and fluidity, there's just that like charming little tiny Sam that is just wanting to play, and that has been a joy connecting with. It took a while. The thing that has been difficult, and I just spoke to a friend actually overseas about this, learning to love this skin bag that we've been given, you know, and there's a book, Learning to Love Midlife, that Chip Connolly, who we'll probably have on the show as well, you know, is, you know, it's really learning to love every part of me, right? Like, I think there's been definitely a body image thing of needing to appear a certain way, fit whatever skinny jeans, whatever wear designer, blah blah blah, that has fed my low self-esteem and insecurity, you know. And I know it's never been enough, and so it's to just fully love and accept, like, this is where I am today and it's beautiful, you know. And that has taken a bit. How about you?
Let's see. Something that's been easy to embrace and love about myself is my ability to go with the flow. My ability to, you know, just be loosey-goosey with all of it and not have to... I'm not a perfectionist. That's the good news and the bad news. But, you know, for me, I can see that I do love that about myself. I find it easier. And then the hard part has just been this whole story of, I guess exactly the opposite is like the Renee Rapp of it all. The uniqueness, the child that has been so at the forefront of my relationships and interactions with people, and how I kept wanting to suppress the child, be like, you were not supposed to be a child. Like, we're supposed to be an adult. Stop being silly. Stop trying to say the funny thing, or stop trying to, you know, be unique in this way. And that's been the hard part to recently, like, you know, find the equanimity with and find the love with, even when it is more child than how everyone else behaves.
You had me at Renee Rapp.
When she comes on the show.
When she comes on the show, I will be so thrilled when she's here, and I will literally be at the edge of my seat waiting to see what comes out of her mouth, because I adore her, you know.
Same.
And is she gonna pull, like, I don't know, like, we'll see. I mean,
I think she would like our name. I think she'd be happy with our name.
I think she would love our name. She'd love our logo and the pink and all that stuff. And I don't know about the whole age thing. You know, I don't know.
Sam, I'm on TikTok. I identify as Gen Z, so we're good.
So we're good?
Yeah, we're good. So you boomers, millennials, Gen Zers, Gen Xers, the whole bit. Y'all bitches, y'all go call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor.
See you next week.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor. Call your sponsor.
Send us an email with comments, questions, or concerns, bcysponsor@gmail.com.
Don't forget to rate 5 stars.